and we were assigned. I must say that, for example, in the Moshav that we stayed in Kvar Vitkin, yeah, uh, where we were assigned to different families. Each one lived with a different family because it was a Moshav, it wasn't a kibbutz. We had very many interesting experiences living with a family, and that was the nature of it. The program.
How long was that portion of the program?
5 weeks. 5 weeks. See what a moshav is like, why it's different from a kibbutz. It's as if you were giving a lecture, if you wanted to do it. We were chosen by the families. You're going to laugh. We got off the bus from Bet Barrel to come to the 5-week program in Kvar Vitkin, and they lined us up in a straight line. And the families of Kvar Vitkin that wanted help came around and organized themselves, looking into how we shouldered suitcases, how we related to the little kids who were running around. In other words, we were being chosen for a duty or for help at the Moshav. Like in my family, she had 3 children, small children, and she needed help with the children. I didn't consider that a real kibbutz experience or Moshav, but nonetheless, in that place that I was for 5 weeks, sleeping in the living room with a shower curtained off in the corner of the living room, because that's where they put up the shower head. And if you wanted to take a shower, you had to just yell out, "I'm going to be in the shower. Don't come into the living room." Those kinds of experiences. We were only there 5 weeks, but it was a very meaningful 5 weeks, especially depending on which family you were selected by. I always laugh about, we lined up and it was like a selection. We'll take this one and this one and this one. And even one family, there was a guy who asked the person from our workshop to open his mouth so he could see his teeth. We didn't know what he was going to plan for work for this poor guy. But we had lots of funny experiences, the last of which I will say was really worth knowing. The maskir of the Moshav was a guy with a terrible temper, widowed, and wanted to run the whole show, which he was tasked, and he couldn't, for some reason, which I didn't know. I'm a big Yiddishist as well as Hebrew, and we had a choir in the workshop. That's one thing I organized when we were in there, and we learned a few Yiddish songs to sing, and we got up to sing our first one, and this guy who was the head of the Moshav at that point got up in the audience and started yelling, "We don't need this Yiddish stuff, that they're bringing to us from the diaspora. We are the Moshav," and it was really something wonderful. And he stormed out, and we were standing there on the stage with a spotlight, and we didn't know what to do. But we went out. We tried to talk to him. He was really one son of a gun, and everybody who was on the workshop that I've seen and met with since remembers that as one interesting part of dealing with the language of the Jews in Israel. There were many such experiences.
That is a really interesting story.
Never